Tibetan of Tibet. Please give it up for Mr. Harry Wu. Thank you.
I'm Han Chinese. I'm not a Tibetan. But I was very happy to be here and talk to you a little bit. Since early 1950s, China set up the labor camps in the Qinghai area as an Endo area. They removed 200,000 prisoners, include a Catholic priest, include the so-called counter-revolutionary, to Endo area. At that moment, there is no any Tibetan prisoners. So in Endo area, in Qinghai, there's many Chinese prisoners. But in 1959, when Dalai Lama escaped from Tibet, and in Beijing they're holding an internal so-called exhibition. Of course, in this exhibition they're telling the lie. And they say, well, how the Tibetan people was forced by Dalai Lama and his Nobel class and suppression, everything. We have to liberate them. At that time, I was labeled as a counter-revolutionary rightist. And a couple of months later, I was sentenced to life to prison camp again. At that time, is my first time. I was 22 years old. I learned the Chinese have a liberation of the Tibetan. And I thought maybe China have to liberate the Tibet. Entirely 19 years I was in the prison camp. I do not know about Tibet anymore. 1985, I came to the United States and I met many Tibetans in San Francisco, in New York, in Washington, D.C. I do not find any Tibetan lie to me. They're very honest, straightforward guy. I'm very surprised. And I contact Dalai Lama and ICT. And I try to study what is the Tibet issue. Since then, there's many Tibetan prisoners was in the Laogai camp. 80 Tibetan self-immolation, commit suicide. There's no any other country, no any nationals sacrifice them, commit suicide. For what? They just for one thing. They want to see Dalai Lama back. They just want to see freedom of speech, freedom of religions. I was shocked because there's a very few people today sacrifice their life fighting for their future. And I met Dalai Lama 7 months ago in Damshan. We have a long conversation. I suggest Dalai Lama had to stop middle way policy and fighting for the independent. Tibet is an independent national. Tibetans have their own history, but unfortunately it's occupied by Liberation Army and occupied the Communist Party. But until today, the communist system was collapsing in Beijing and also in Tibet. I think pretty soon Tibet will become independent at all. So I will support you guys fighting for your independence. Forget about your middle way policy. Fighting about your freedom of religions, freedom of your society, freedom of your culture. This is the time that so many Tibetans gathering in New York fighting for their independence. You are different people. You're not the same people as me. I'm Chinese. I'm Han Chinese, and you're Tibetan. Tibet is an independent country. There's no reason for the communists to occupy the Tibet. Thank you. Independent Tibet.
And now we have the two members of the parliament, Novasidla and Tashanamgila, will be offering the auspicious white scarf to Mr. Harry Wu. Thank you.
As you all know, Mr. Harry Wu has been with the Tibetans for a long time. Whenever we have any kind of solidarity or demonstration, he's always there. Being it in Asia, India, in Europe, or in America, whenever we have any kind of Tibetan activist, Mr. Harry Wu is there to lend his support and to give push to our cause. So I and my colleague would like to offer him a scarf to express our gratitude and thank on behalf of all the Tibetans.
Long live independent Tibet.
Long live independent Tibet!
Long live the holiness.
Long live the holiness!
Long live Tibet.
Long live Tibet!
Long live Tibet.
Long live Tibet!
Tibet is an independent country.
Tibet is independent country!
Fight for it.
Fight for it!
Fight for your independence.
Fight for your independence!
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
the President